Gina?
Vicky, thank you. New this morning, the FBI has launched a criminal investigation into allegations of long delays at VA hospitals. Hospital administrators have been accused of falsifying paperwork to make VA hospital wait times appear shorter. The Senate and the House have each approved VA reform bills, which include allowing veterans more flexibility in provider care. Alabama U.S. Representative Martha Roby represents District 2, which covers Montgomery. She released a statement saying that an Alabama Veterans Affairs director didn't actually fire employees for allegedly falsifying waitlist records here in the state. Representative Roby is joining us this morning from Washington. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
I want to get right to what the director of Central Alabama Veterans Healthcare System said. He said those responsible for falsifying documents have been fired. You say that's a lie. Could you elaborate on that?
Sure. Well, we've learned that, in fact, that those employees are still working at the Central Alabama VA, those that have been held directly responsible for falsifying the records. The bottom line is that I couldn't get a straight answer as a member of Congress. So imagine how our veterans feel every single day.
I can't imagine. I want to get to Montgomery. A new report came out this week saying Montgomery's VA system scored among the worst facilities for wait times, with some veterans waiting as long as 4 months just to get an appointment. How is this allowed to happen and in your district?
Exactly. Well, as you know, these VA hospitals serve a much broader area than just Montgomery. And I'm not surprised by this. We hear from veterans every single day. This problem was not created overnight. I have caseworkers in my district that work extremely hard on behalf of Alabama's veterans. And, you know, we hear from these folks every single day. And now we learn that there has been malfeasance where these documents have been falsified to try to show that the VA is doing better than they are. So we absolutely have to get to the bottom of this, and I believe that there's more to this story. So we're going to dig deeper on this. In fact, I've got two of my top staffers from D.C. headed down to Montgomery to continue to ask questions and hear from our veterans so that we can get to the bottom of this.
Ms. Roby, with all due respect, a lot of veterans listening to this, as you've mentioned, have called you numerous times. Some may say talk is cheap. What exactly are your plans to do something about it?
Sure. Well, there's a couple of things. As was mentioned, we have passed legislation to allow the veterans to access care immediately. But there's also programs out there that we know have not been utilized by the Central Alabama VA that are available. Specifically, the Patient-Centered Community Care Program, it's otherwise known as PC3, which allows veterans to access local care immediately. So we are urging that the Central Alabama VA and folks all across the country do this. It allows veterans to access care locally if the VA cannot provide it in a timely fashion, or if it's a specialty doctor that the veteran needs to see, that they can go right to in their own backyard rather than having to travel far away. These are things, commonsensical things that can be implemented right away. And so we are pushing this. We're going to continue to push this, but stay tuned because I think there's more to this.
Well, I know bonuses paid to supervisors are now no longer happening. Let's get back to what's happening here in Central Alabama. Those employees who allegedly falsified documents have not been fired. Is there anything you can do to see that they're gone?
Right. Well, we've also passed legislation to make it easier for the directors of VA, those at the top level, to be able to remove those who were responsible for these actions. There also has been an FBI investigation that has started. And look, I believe that there are those that could be criminally prosecuted as a result of this. And so I think that's the right direction. Remember, these are our veterans. These are the people that have put their life on the line for our country and our freedom and our liberty. And if we can do right by anybody in this country, we ought to do right by our veterans. And so I, of course, am committed to continuing to push on this and do all I can to leave no stone unturned so that we can get to the bottom of what happened, but then also look at these ways that we can improve upon the system. There's two things here. There's the veterans that are hurting and that are sick and need access to care right away. We need to make sure that they have that access immediately, and that's what we're trying to do here in Washington, and that's what is available for Central Alabama VA system to access right now. But then we've also got to look at what does the VA look like long term? How do we ensure that this never happens again? So again, the thing that we need to concentrate on right now is how do we make sure that our veterans get the best quality care right now.
All right, Representative Martha Roby, thank you so much for joining us this morning.